Hello. Guten Morgen, guten Abend, guten Nachmittag. Today we are doing this whole thing in German accent. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. So today I want to talk a little bit. I was thinking about the German because of Werner Herzog, and he's just such a good director. I like him. I like him so much. And Werner Herzog, he makes me think of this. We want to talk about filmmaking today, and actually more specifically about the fallacy of micro-budget filmmaking. Now, why the fallacy? Because people have false conceptions of what things cost, and today I just want to discuss that a little bit, because it's not entirely wrong, it's just wrong. So the issue is that, I get hit up, I know others, my peers get hit up, and sort of these, hey man, I want to make a 30-minute short film. I have, $6,000. And then it's like a process of explaining why that's not really something that's feasible in any way. And I just want to talk about that now so that, again, the information is kind of out there in the YouTube-niverse for people to find, and for me to send as a link instead of having to have this discussion every time. And some of you might already know this, but maybe it's a good thing to sort of get a refresher on. Why? Because you're in a game, and the projects in this game cost a lot of money, and they look amazing, and especially if you're in Hollywood, LA, New York, even Atlanta, and some other cities, the quality that comes out of there is really high. And it costs a lot of money because a lot of very talented people at the height of their game are collaborating together to create this stuff. Okay? So the first mistake is looking at individuals thinking, hey, can you make this movie for me? No, I can't. I cannot. My team can make this movie for you. Can you pay my team? They're not your friends. They're not going to do you favors. Why would they? So here's the difference between micro-budget filmmaking, 15, 20 grand, a paranormal activity, my friend Noam Kroll's Shadows on the Road. Shadows on the Road looks amazing. It's a good movie, and it costs like 15 grand. That doesn't mean you can go out and make a movie for 15 grand. It does not. You need to know a lot to do that. You need to pull a lot of favors to do that. It means it's possible. Realistically. And you need to get a lot of people excited about what you're doing and believing in the project, or you need to be able to do a lot of the work yourself to do a movie for that price. Now, I don't want this to be sort of an apocalyptic, you can do it. That's part of what is taught in my Drace's program too. But you need to understand what comes with that. Okay? There's a triangle in this industry. Quality, time, money. Right? You can choose two. One's going to suffer. Actually, let's squish that triangle down to a straight line. I don't know why I just did that. You can have two. Maybe because I'm like Elmer the Fudd. And one's going to suffer or go up, depending on what it is. Right? So one's going to move and two stay constant. Quality, quickly. So quality and time. Quality, quickly. Money goes up. All right? Cheap and quickly. Right? Quality goes down. Quality, cheaply. Time goes up. Okay? So, you sacrifice one to get the other two. That's the way to think about it. If you want quality quickly, you got to pay. If you want quality cheaply, you got to be patient. And do a lot of work yourself and do a lot of hustling and just produce the heck out of it and rethink it and problem solve and all that stuff. And if you want quick and cheap, understand that it's going to not look very good or sound very good or just be a very good project, quality-wise. Just like gravity is always kind of there, consider this a law. Just consider it a law. It'll make your life easier. Because that way you're not out there thinking, like, just angry that, like, I don't have any money so I can't make a movie. No, you can. It's going to be really flippin' hard and take you a long time. But if you want it hard enough and bad enough, you can do it. And if your script's good enough, you just might get people, not companies. Don't call me with a script that you want to do for free. People in your circle to believe in you enough to help you with the project. See, this is part of the reason I say production as a service is so important. If you keep a team engaged, you give them commercial work, you give them all kinds of other small project work and stuff, you pay them, it's much easier to call them up and say, hey, dude, I need a favor. I'm doing a movie. Want to do this with me? You'll get a lot of yeses that way. But if you're coming in cold, you don't have a network, you don't have people, ooh, it's a tough place to be. So just consider that when you're working a day job 40 hours in some office, have no connection to the industry, write some script, and then get mad at Hollywood or people that, you know, that don't want to produce the movie for you. You're not in the industry. You don't have the people to help you out to get your start. See, we talk a lot about like what happens after people get that paranormal activity and slingshot themselves into a mega successful company like Blumhouse and end up producing award-winning films like Get Out that are all horror, you know, genre. We talk about that in another video. But what happens before that? A lot of work. It's like people look at stars. Oh, their first movie was, you know, so-and-so. That probably wasn't. You know? You could say George Clooney's first gig was ER. Nah. No, it wasn't. I think he spent a good 10, 15 years, this is according to his aunt, grinding. And then finally got ER. 15 years is a long time. So always look at the iceberg and then like remember that there's 2/3 of it underneath. Okay? So low budget films are not low budget. Micro budget films are not micro budget. They come with a price. Do you hear that? Sirens? I mean, I thought, you know, I was here for like an hour and a half already this morning. Nothing. Quiet. Crickets. I roll camera. Action. You know what I'm saying? Don't be unrealistic. Everything has a price. The fact that my friend Noam Kroll was able to produce Shadows on the Road and direct that, a beautiful film. It's on Amazon Prime, I believe, if you want to check it out. It's a great movie. Small film, looks beautiful. I think Andy Chin shot it, good friend of ours. I shot a few scenes in that actually too. You see, that's what I'm talking about. He hit me up. He's like, hey man, I got to go up to Malibu, catch a couple of these scenes for my film, Shadows on the Road. Want to, hike along? I'll buy you lunch. Sure, old buddy. Haven't seen him for a while. I love holding the camera. Got the actor out there. Shot a few scenes. Like, it's really hard if you don't know people. It's really hard if you don't have relationships with people. So you need to live and breathe this industry if you want to pull something like that off. Or you got to have friends, that are ambitious. If you're in a small town in New Hampshire or in Minnesota or something, cool, that's fine. Rally up your friends. Figure your things out. Get good. That's the thing. Make it. Okay, here's the biggest tip. Never try to produce Star Wars on a shoestring budget. You're not going to do it. Don't try to make things look bigger than what they are. Lean hardcore into what you have and just do the best there and make it all fit. Make something that fits. The Blair Witch Project is a perfect example. It's handycam. It's shot like crap. It's all about the story and the suspense. And they play into that shaky cam. So what's your angle, Paranormal Activity. Like they knew they weren't going to shoot that with, a huge crew and grip trucks and lighting and all that stuff. So they made it, the whole story revolves around found footage. This whole birth of this found footage thing, right? So consider that, you know, what do you have available? You have a farm, you know, you have some cows, you know, like do something with that. Find the production value around what you have. So I think that's about it. Like, I just wanted to, you know, again, just lay out the fallacy of micro-budget filmmaking, because people are under this impression that in this digital age, like, films shouldn't cost a lot of money. They should, and they do. Not quite as much as they used to, maybe, but you can still make films at that level. And they're even more brilliant and more amazing than they used to be. See, it's not that the price needs to come down. It's that the quality's going up for what you're getting with the money. Mediocrity is a terrible place to be, and just thinking, well, you know, film stock doesn't cost as much anymore, so we can make movies cheaper. It's the wrong way to think. Every project that you have, you should throw as much money as you can into it. Whether it's for your reel, or for your short film, or for your first movie, or for whatever it is that you're doing for yourself to build yourself professionally. You should throw as much money into it as you can, not foolishly though. Why? Because if you can get a better camera, get a better camera. If you can get a better cinematographer, get a better cinematographer. If you can find an editor who's done big movies, work with them. Everything's going to elevate, you know, if you can get better wardrobe and hire a costumer, if you can keep people fed with really good food on set, all of these things are going to translate into a better movie if you do it wisely. I'm not talking about lighting your money on fire like a lot of people do. But you shouldn't think, don't come up from a place of scarcity and being stingy and not wanting to spend because you think that you should get everything for free. You're going to end up with a movie that looks like that. Be generous with what you have. Be open, kind, and respectful and appreciative of the people who are helping you with it. And spend your money. Spend your money wisely and on the right things. But it all starts with having a script. See, it's a combination of pulling favors, spending money where you need to, so that the resources that you have, the limited resources that you have, let's say you only have $15,000, but you know 3 locations that are amazing that your uncle owns that you can borrow, and you have 2 actors who are willing to work with you for credit, and you have a cinematographer who was in film school. So now that means you can put that 15 grand into post maybe, or some effects, or something that you weren't able to do, or like better wardrobe, or better costumes, or props, or something, you know, a big scene that you couldn't otherwise get. So smart allocation of resources will render a better result. Intelligent and creative problem solving. It's very important in this industry, and I encourage you to learn as much about it as you can. Solve your problems wisely, be generous, be ambitious, but stay realistic. Production's expensive, and it should be. All right.